Our next speaker, Mr. Jadon Pierre, will present his talk titled The Chaos Theory of Life. Jadon Pierre, a grade 12 student, is an avid researcher, reader, and the school's cultural secretary. Jadon uses his passion for writing and speaking to explore ideas that inspire reflection and change. In his talk, he addresses the growing sense of apathy among today's youth and reminds us that every action, however small, holds meaning. His words encourage us to rediscover purpose, compassion, and the belief that what we do truly matters. Please welcome Jadon Pierre on stage.
Let me start off this session with a question. How many of you, right here, right now, think your world is chaos? That everything around you is in a whirlpool of different ideas, events, information. Raise up hands. Let's raise hands, come on. You can see a lot of 12 standards raising their hands. Well, I'm in grade 12. My life is chaotic. It's an understatement, really. I have to balance between my two lives. One is my schoolwork, the other one is my personal life. In my, well, you can say my schoolwork, I have multiple things to do. For example, I have 6 subjects. So for that, I need to spend each time with each subject, go through each and every subject's notes. Then the experiments, for example, I need to do salt analysis in chemistry. In physics, I need to get the correct reading in the meter bridge. All of that is there. Then including the extracurriculars like this event and everything else, it is chaotic. But then we add my personal life as well. My obligations to my friends and my family, myself, my own expectations. It can all be a little bit depressing sometimes. Recently, I took the time to read through an old book of mine. A book which was gifted to me by my parents when I was in grade 5. It was this book, Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, the novel. It really made me enthusiastic about life, the science behind it, the various character perspectives, and then one concept, now when I'm in grade 12, gave a paradigm shift in my understanding. That was chaos theory. So today here, I'll be explaining how we can apply chaos theory into our lives, how we can better our lives into something much more better. But first of all, let's address the question, what is chaos theory? Let's go back to 1961 to a meteorologist by the name of Edward Lorenz, who was working in a station running weather simulations. He has this value right here, 0.506127. He rounds off that value to 0.506. Any math student will agree that it is a valid rounding off and won't have repercussions. When he had inputted in that value, and later when he sees the results of a simulation, he finds out that it has drastically changed what it has forecasted. That small rounding error which he had made caused the entire weather system to diverge completely from its forecasted simulation. That was coined the butterfly effect. A butterfly's flap, the wings flapping in Peking, can create totally different and drastic changes to the weather in New York. So, just to break it down, small changes in initial conditions can lead to drastic future outcomes. That is chaos theory. Now let's look at our lives. Our lives are also chaotic. We have a lot of things to balance. Everything doesn't go as planned always. And we need to scramble. We need to make sure that each and everything fits in our lives. But we should always remember like in chaos theory, there is an underlying order. Recently, when I was researching about chaos theory, something popped up. This was a little bit not new to me, But the vastness of the issue surprised me a lot. It was the rise of apathy in the youth of today, the rise of fear, of anxiety concerning the future. Take the USA for the example. It's a first world country, it is the land of the free, and is a major political power on the global stage post-World War II. Well, this is some data from the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This is an American health institution, government institution. It recently took a survey of its high schoolers and adolescents, of which 20% reported symptoms of anxiety and 18% reported symptoms of depression every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Then for the adolescents, in the past year, 40% reported feelings of sadness and hopelessness. That's 40% in 1 year. Let's take an example which is a little more closer to home. The GM5, that is Gimme 5, is a foundation. It's a psychological wellness foundation from Australia. It recently held a survey of high schoolers in Telangana and Karnataka for the age groups of 10 to 18 years of age. 70% of students had trouble focusing and concentrating in class. 24% showed signs of psychological distress, with 6 to 10% needing immediate support. They were very critical in their psychological distress. And less than 75% of students felt isolated and disconnected from their social networks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not an epidemic in which only some people are affected, only like Asian communities are affected. This is a worldwide pandemic we are in right now, in which the youth of today, the future of our world, are spiraling into a cycle of fear, anxiety, and apathy. Who can blame them really? Our world is chaotic. It's like an inky darkness around us in which we are scrambling for a speck of light, a single speck of light anywhere. It can mislead the best of us into such feelings of dread, of apathy concerning the future. But we should never lose hope. We should never lose hope. I'm going to introduce you to this power of chaos theory in which we can utilize in our lives every day. Of the small changes which we can make every day, which can completely alter our reality. Completely alter our reality to what we think, to something much more drastic, something we couldn't even imagine if we recognize that power. Let's take a few examples. You charge your phone. Later on, you'll be able to, do your work on it. You can maybe watch some videos. You can even call someone if there's an emergency. That is, if you do the small action of charging your phone. Okay, then let's take another example. Putting your medicines, your tablets every day. You put it every day, it's a small action, you may forget it sometimes, but if you keep on continuously doing it, your health becomes better. You can do more things. Therefore, a small change can give you drastic future implications. So this power is within all of us, and we can utilize it. We are utilizing it, but sometimes in the wrong way. If we recognize that power, even in our darkest times when we even forget, in the darkest times of our lives, if we recognize that power of changing our reality, it's not for superheroes that they can only change reality. We can do it. Each and every person, boy or girl, anything, they can change their reality with just a small change. You can change your reality with a small change. There are two ways in which you can use this power to, make your life good or bad. One is the positive usage, and the other one is the negative usage. The negative usage is the most common usage of our power. Let's take an extreme example of someone getting a sniff of a drug or a puff of a cigarette. Alcoholism. It all starts with just one small experience. Hey, you try this, man. It'll be nice. You get this sense of euphoria when you try it, and then you're hooked. You circle downwards, spiraling downwards. You couldn't get out of it, all because of that small change of wanting to experiment or wanting to fit in with your social circle. Now, something which is very common nowadays, prevalent nowadays, is addiction to social media. Short form content like YouTube Reels or Instagram Reels, all of that. Just you might look at one video, you say, hey, this guy is funny. Hey, this guy is good. It's only short duration as well. Like, it's just a short break from my studying or from my work. Then later, you start doom scrolling. You won't be able to get out of it. Just that small change in your behavior can lead to such drastic future implications. Just being mean to someone for the fun of it. Like, for example, in the school you might be ragging someone. That can implicate a person's behavior and mindset for years. All of that is the negative usage. But we can also come out of that if you're struggling with it. As I already told, this can also be used negatively and positively. To come out of this negative usage, just put your phone down and spend time with family and friends. That small action can lead to so much more positive implications in your future. Or else, if you're struggling from more serious addictions like drugs, alcoholism, cigarettes, just realize that it's not impacting yourself, not your own health. It is, but also it's impacting the people around you. So going for counseling, I like this saying, it's a saying for recovering from alcoholism. It's one day at a time. So there's one day I won't drink, and that will continue for months and then for years. Just that small change in your behavior can lead to such a greater future than you would have imagined ever in your life. Let's go to the positive usage now. Positive usage, the most common one, is giving money. Yes, that is a very good thing. Even the smallest donations to any kind of old age home or else a charity, an orphanage, that can be a game changer, a lifesaver for many lives, and it positively impact those around you. But there is a need in our society which often goes unnoticed, a need which we all are not able to fulfill always in our turbulent atmosphere now we have. It is the need to be generous with our time and with our words. The need to be generous with our time and with our words. We are human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens. We are social animals. Whatever is said to us or else whatever we communicate to another human being impacts them a lot. We have this thing called imagination in our brain. Every small thing which someone else says, we tend to overthink it. We go through extremes in which it can impact our relationship with the person, positively or negatively. And we have been using the negative thing more often nowadays. We prioritize monetary success rather than having good personal relationships. We have hollow friendships around us so that we can just get to the top, earn a lot of money. That's the goal nowadays. But it's impacting your life so much. When you're old, you'll be sitting and you'll be thinking, where did I go wrong? Why am I alone right now? Because you need to have more natural connections, more human connections. Even the use of AI nowadays, we tend to think of it as a replacement. But it can never replace human connections, ever. Just speaking to another person can create such a massive impact. There's a story which I heard from a YouTuber, former YouTuber. His name was Matthew Patrick, Matt Pat in short. He retired from YouTube, and I was going through his old videos, and I found this story which he had told. Well, he was a boy, and let me say it in this context. Let's say that Matt Pat is a kid over here. He's arranging chairs in the gymnasium. He's arranging chairs for his choir. And later on, he sees a boy over there in the back. In the back, that boy is sitting alone, sad, with no one else around him. So MatPat goes up to him and starts speaking to him. They just exchange pleasantries. Then they talk about their hobbies. The boy says that he likes acting, which coincidentally was MatPat's favorite. They talked about it, laughed about it, and MatPat invited him to join the drama club of the school. They had fun. Later on the school bus, they were all going to get down and go home. The boy stopped MatPat for a minute, and he said, "Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for not giving up on me." Later, MatPat finds out the boy wanted to give up on life itself. He was going to that day, until he had that talk, that simple, single conversation with a random person which completely altered his life forever. We never realize the impact we have for other people, but we need to realize it, we need to recognize it, and use that power positively. Mother Teresa once said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples." Ladies and gentlemen, I have tried to change the world. I really have. You can ask the people who know me. But I have failed. But here I am now. I am here to cast a stone of change, like this talk over here, or else even as small as a random interaction with a person whom I may never meet again. Just a simple, kind interaction can completely alter one's life, and I invite all of you to do the same too. Realize the importance of small things we do every day. Recognize it and make wise decisions, for it can completely alter your life. You have that power to do it. That's why this kind of event is there. TEDx is there to inspire people, to give ideas, to spread hope and change to the world. Let us always, and I say always, be kind and caring for everyone. Let our wings flap for kindness, for courage, and for connection. For you may never know that somewhere someone will thank you for not giving up on them. So the question now is that it's not a question anymore now, right? That you have the power or not to change the world. The answer is you do. The real question is, what kind of change will you make? What kind of change will you make on this world? Thank you, everyone. This is Jadon Pierre signing off.